Yesterday, we spent 6 hours watching real, radical, revolutionary socialists at a conference, and I gotta tell you, it was everything I thought it would be. It was fucking awesome. It was awesome. I sat there enthralled for 6 hours, and it's like, you think you're gonna sit there and watch socialism for 6 hours, and it's gonna be boring, and it's gonna be dull, it's gonna be academic? Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. These are one of the reasons I love the group that we're doing this spy stream into. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go to the Substack. You can find information about it. You can find your links to access day 2 of the spy stream, which will be starting in a little less than an hour, I think. But it was awesome. Reagan, you're up and running. See, I just woke up. I just got my coffee. Got my giant ass coffee. Reagan's ready to go for day 2. And listen, like, we got so many great clips last night from the day 1 of the socialism conference, but I really want you guys to come and join us for day 2. Listen, if you've never been inside a radical revolutionary socialist event before, you gotta check this out. You just do, because I've been tracking socialist and communist groups all over the country for years and years and years now. Some socialists and communists are more easy to understand than others. Now, like, listen, it is not true that the left is using word salad all the time. Like, people come into my stream sometimes when they're brand new to watching the left, and they're like, "This is word salad. This doesn't mean anything. This is word salad. This doesn't mean anything." That's not true at all. The left is incredibly consistent. This is one of the things I've learned over the years of watching socialism. Trying to find a comfortable place for my arms. This is because I insist on holding my phone. I can't just set up a stand like a normal person. I have to just hold my phone and talk into it, apparently. Anyway, so this is what I've learned over the years of watching socialism, is that there are just some groups that are more academic and use more flowery language than other groups. It's not that they're not saying the same thing. They are saying the same thing. And once you learn how to recognize the language, and it didn't hurt that I spent a long time in academia, so it's easier, I think, for me to recognize the language than some people. I mean, I have a PhD, I've done that level of research, I worked for colleges and universities for 10 years. Like, I've been in that world, so I understand it. If you don't understand academic flowery language, don't feel bad about it. My bigger point, though, is whether they're speaking academic flowery language or whether they're speaking more plain spoken language, they're saying relatively the same thing. They're all in the same ballpark. And so the left is incredibly consistent. But when you can find groups that are pretty plain spoken about their beliefs, and there are absolutely some groups on the radical revolutionary far left that are very plain spoken about their beliefs, those are the people I like to listen to more often, because it's just easier to teach these concepts to more people when when it's easier to understand the language. And so the groups that we're watching for this conference, they are relatively plain spoken. It is easy to follow along. If you are new to watching socialism, if you've never gone inside a socialist event with me, this is a great event to start with. So make sure you're signing up on the Substack. Today's spy stream into the Radical Revolutionary Socialist Conference is a supporter-only stream, because that just, I can't stream a multi-day conference and not have it be supporter-only. I just can't. Like, I'll get caught, I'll get kicked out, like, it'll cause all sorts of problems and all this stuff. And so we have to keep it supporter only, but my support level is $8 a month. So this is not breaking the bank for everyone. And so make sure you're joining, make sure you're coming and watching. If you think you understand the far left, but you've never watched socialism with me before, you're going to be shocked at what you see. You're going to be shocked, because what we watch in this sort of conference and real radical revolutionary socialists, this is not what you're seeing on Fox News. It's not what you're seeing on Glenn Beck or the Daily Wire or The Blaze or Steven Crowder or Libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok never shares stuff from the real far left. All they share is clickbait outrage content to rile up their audiences. You might think you understand the left, but until you've actually sat down and listened to them in their environment, you really have no idea. And, one of the things I love about doing live events is it's confusing to people sometimes, because you're watching something on YouTube and you make the mistake of believing that this is for public consumption. Well, what we're doing is going and being a fly on the wall of their conference. I've been to real socialist conferences in person. I've been undercover with them multiple times when the camera's off. The conference that we're watching today is a virtual conference, which makes it easy. Of course, that's like why we're spy streaming. It's a virtual conference. But the experience I had yesterday watching this conference, it is exactly like it is in person. It's exactly the same. These are far left radicals talking to each other about their ideas and getting each other all riled up about their ideas. And what I love about doing the conferences, in the conferences, you really get them to say what they think because they're trying to show off. It's their time to show off to their comrades about all the stuff they know. So you guys have got to come and join it. The conference itself is getting started at about noon Eastern time. Let me give you the lineup for today. I can't tell you what the conference is, of course, but I can tell you about the lineup. We're going to be talking about building revolutionary organizations today. That's about building an organization that can withstand the revolution, the overthrow of the government as they see it. They're probably going to talk. They are probably going to start today off by talking about overthrowing the government. For real. Border abolition and anti-ICE rebellion. So we're going to get them on video talking about attacking ICE officers. That's going to be cool. Communist abolitionism, ACAB includes capitalism. Reagan says in the chat, I'm hoping for Brian Bean. I would be surprised if that ACAB includes capitalism one is not Brian Bean. I really would be. I know Brian Bean has spoken to these groups before. Brian Bean is an insane far left radical that I have on video multiple times talking about trying to overthrow the government. And so I would be surprised if that one wasn't him, but I guess we'll see. And then we're going to end today with international perspectives on revolutionary socialism. I actually don't really like the international stuff, if I'm honest about it. The international stuff puts me to sleep, but we'll watch it. We'll watch it. Shelly says yesterday was an eye-opener. Yeah, Shelly, was that your first time watching a socialism conference? Because yeah, the first time you watch socialism, you have no idea what you're getting into. I was messaging with a friend. I have a bunch of friends who do like on the ground reporting. They cover Antifa and stuff like that. And I was messaging with a friend who is trying to get out of the business of doing on the ground reporting because it's dangerous. You get the shit kicked out of you. Like, it's no joke. Like, I tell people all the time, it's like you go to like people think that the left is a joke because of memes on Twitter. No, if you go and mess with Antifa, they will beat the shit out of you. And so I have this friend that has gotten hurt like on more than one occasion, and she was messaging me. She's like, "Carl, I gotta get out of this. I want to do these meetings with you." I'm like, "Well, we never run out of stuff to record, so you can always come and record meetings. And I can't record every meeting, so that would actually be really helpful to have someone else help out." But she was watching the event, and this is a person that has been around Antifa in person directly many, 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 many times. Even she was watching the socialism conference yesterday, and she was going, "Holy shit!" Like, she was like, it was crazy. And the reason that is when she's covering Antifa on the ground, she's seeing them in black bloc and they're yelling and they're doing all that stuff that Antifa does, but she never sees Antifa sitting down and just talking about their ideas to each other without the masks on, without any of the bullshit, without the violence, without any of that. And that's what you see at this conference. The Antifa stuff in the streets is obviously very real. And that's a very real threat, and we should not Trump should do more about that than he is, but that's another topic for another day. But Antifa takes their masks off, and when they take their masks off, oftentimes they're academics and they're students and they're young people. And so if you want to hear what these people actually believe, you come and watch the conference, because you're not going to get what they believe by watching the street level footage. Now, the street level footage is important, but for my money, I've always said that if you want to defeat the left, you have to understand them. You have to understand what they believe. You have to understand how they're organizing. You have to understand how they think. And when you watch these conference presentations and you get a peek inside their head, it allows you to understand a fuller picture of what's going on in the world. And that's when you start to understand it's way worse than people think. It's way worse. And if we don't get a handle on this, we are going to lose, and we are going to lose badly, and that is going to be the way it is. So I invite you guys to join me I know I made it sound really enticing. I'm like, basically the sky is falling and everything sucks and these people are crazy. And do you want to see the crazy? Do you want to step into a full day of the crazy? Well, come join me and I'll show you a full day of the crazy. Shelley says, "You're right that these activists have jobs. When unmasked, they're librarians, teachers, HR people." Yeah, see, that's exactly it. That is one of the worst conservative debunks ever. They don't have jobs. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They have jobs teaching your kids. They have jobs running your local library. They have jobs in HR. They have union jobs. They talked multiple times yesterday about the unions, controlling the unions, making the unions more radical, using the unions to radicalize people. I have like 15 pages of notes that I took yesterday. I started making clips last night. I only got through one. I had to make so many clips. I only got through one of the 4 sessions we watched yesterday to make all of the clips of that session. And so, I mean, it's just like it's an insane amount of content that we're getting access to. So if you've ever been interested in the Real Far Left, if you've ever been interested in my work, now is the very best day to fund it, and now is the very best day to join us for Spy Stream. And if you don't get a chance to, you're going to be able to get access to the on-demand recordings as well. But there's nothing like watching it live, because when we go into these events, I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know what they're going to do. I have no idea. You don't either. And it is exactly like what it's like to be there covering it in person, except how lucky are we that we get to do it from the comfort of our own home? How lucky am I that I don't have to change my hair and wear a disguise and a chest binder to go and cover these events? I mean, I love it. And so that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be getting started in about half an hour, around 11:30-ish. I might make it more like 11:40, just because, whatever. The conference is getting started around noon, and we will be streaming all day long, and you can come in, you can come out. But I highly encourage everyone to join us for a little bit of it, because once you see this stuff, you can't unsee it. And the only way to solve a problem is to actually kind of tackle it head on. And if you don't understand who your enemy is, there ain't no chance you're ever going to beat them. And so I feel very strongly we need to do a much better job of understanding who our enemy is, of listening to what they're saying, of really taking them seriously. They say the quiet part out loud all the time. The problem is people like us aren't listening all the time. And I can only stream so much socialism on the internet, but I'm gonna listen to as much as I can to show you guys what's going on. And I invite you to join me on this adventure, and it's gonna be great. And get some snacks, get a craft. I have my knitting, and you can occupy yourself otherwise, as we're listening to the farthest left radicals in the country talking about what their plans are. Orlando says radicalizing unions. I mean, we have a free market, social democracies in Europe, has its up and down, but it seems full blown communism. Well, actually, Orlando, it's funny that you bring up European style social democracy, because in the very first presentation at the conference yesterday, they said, we do not want European style social democracy. And they gave a long list of reasons about why European style social democracy in Denmark is not what they're trying to do here, and they don't like it for a reason X, Y, B, and Z. I have a clip of it. I actually made a clip of it last night. So we're not talking about, this is not social democracy. In fact, I have another clip. I have actually several clips. There were several times yesterday where they flat out said, we don't want the DSA. The DSA sucks. We need to attack the DSA. The DSA are reformers. The DSA are basically Democrats. Again, we're watching real radical revolutionary socialists and communists. We are not watching the Democrats. We are not watching the progressives. We're not watching the Democratic Socialists of America. The people that we're watching at this conference are so far left that they believe they need to destroy the Democratic Socialists of America, because the Democratic Socialists of America are too centrist and corporate. I'm not kidding. I have them on video saying it. And I'll be releasing clips, but we got to get through day 2 first, and there's an awful lot of clip editing left to do. And so make sure you sign up on the Substack. You will find the information on the homepage. Spy Stream is open to supporters on my Substack, my main Substack, Karlyn, Karlyn.substack.com. My locals, my Patreon, Twitter subscribers, YouTube channel members. If you're a supporter or a member on any of those platforms, just look on the platform. You'll be able to find the link to join us for the live show. I'll be getting started in a little bit. And if you're not yet a supporter, now is the perfect time to sign up. Again, it's $8 a month. We are not talking about breaking the bank here. And so I am 100% independently funded by you guys. I cannot spend 2 straight days watching radical revolutionary socialism and then spending hours upon hours upon hours making clips of it after to break this stuff down and show you guys without your help. So please support the work I'm doing. Sign up on the Substack. That is my preferred method. And then come and join us for Spy Stream. And guess what? We've got another Spy Stream tomorrow, too. There is another F off spy stream tomorrow, not the same group. But you'll be getting a whole other we'll be watching a whole different group tomorrow around 8 p.m. So the organizing calls are coming. Like, I cannot even tell you guys how many organizing calls there are coming up. Like, I've got so many spy streams scheduled. It's gonna blow your minds. So the membership fee on the Substack is gonna be well worth it. You're gonna get a lot of extra content, and no one else on the internet is covering this content. Literally no one. I was a bit worried. I thought that there might be another guy on the internet covering this conference, but it doesn't seem like it because he's not posting about it. And so I really think we might be the only people on the internet actually covering this conference, which is mind-boggling. But here we are. Anyway, I'm gonna go get ready for the stream. I will see you guys. I will see you guys in there. And yeah, get ready. Another full day.